Hi, you beautiful soul. About thoughts today. And this comes from my own experience, like actually a lot of my videos do. So when I started this seeming awakening journey, it was quite early on when I came across a teaching that said that my thoughts create my reality. So I kind of like started immediately because there wasn't any explanation how those thoughts create reality. So I like immediately started to be afraid of my own thoughts. I started to fear every thought that came, and mainly negative ones, because those are the thoughts we don't want to think. So I started to fear them, and because I was able to, first of all, I was able to notice that there is a thought, and there is a storyteller, like there is a inner narrator. So I started to notice everything, and I started to notice those thoughts. And then what happened, I started to like literally see the results that my thoughts actually create the reality. Because every time I had really negative thoughts, they actually came true. And I was really fearing my thoughts. So I started to investigate like deeply how these thoughts are, how they are formed, and what actually creates them. So this is my perception. So how I see that the thoughts are created. Because if you look closely, you are not able to form. You think you create your thoughts by yourself. But actually, if you look closely, who made the decision about I'm gonna think this thought right now? If you look closely, you are not able to track what creates. If you are able to create your own thoughts with your thoughts, how it is possible. Sorry. So when you have a thought, who made the decision to think that thought? You know? So from my view, I see it like this. What creates a thought? It's first of all, it's all those experiences and what you've been taught creates a belief. So that belief is kind of like your subconscious mind that operates behind, like a background, operates and generates those thoughts, kind of like attracts those certain thoughts based on your beliefs. And also your unfelt emotions. So you could say like your unregulated nervous system is also one that attracts certain kind of thoughts. And also there is, because those are seemingly your own thoughts, but there's also collective thoughts, because we are kind of like this individual mind and also collective mind. So there might be also thoughts that comes from that collective mind, but it also comes because you attract them you have to have something, you need to have something within you that attracts those collective thoughts. And mainly it is based on your beliefs. But then comes one certain type of thoughts that you just have some thought and you are not able to kind of like what created this thought. And that might be a collective thought, and that also might trigger some feelings within you, like fear. So then it comes like it doesn't come from your emotions what attracted that thought. It might, but there's also might be like in a collective mind, there might be a thought that creates that fear within you. Yeah, because eventually we are one. So you are connected to that one big mind. So what I started to kind of like wonder or investigate within me, that am I like, is there a push or pull? Am I going towards those thoughts, or am I withdrawing from those thoughts? Or what is the mechanism within me? What happens within me when I get that thought, some thought? And I started to see that every time there was a negative thought, I actually was pushing it away. I literally was like insisting that I don't want to think this thought. So I started to push it away. I was like so insistent that I don't want to think this thought. And it felt like, because there was a moment in time that I really felt that those thoughts was kind of like bombarding me. But now I see that it is because I was pushing them away. Because it created so much fear within me, so I didn't want to think those thoughts. So I was pushing them away. And that actually created more that, because I was resisting it, it persists. Because I was all the time pushing them away. So there was a resistance. So there was also therefore persistence. Yeah. So I think it was a Pashar that said that insistence equals resistance. And I really saw that. So, and then, therefore, that I saw that I was pushing them away, it just came that it's not actually the thought itself that creates your reality. But every time you every time you are resisting that thought and you're pushing it away, that is the key. You give it a meaning. You start to believe that thought and you give it a meaning. Because unless you give it a meaning, what does it matter what the thought says? By doing that resistance and pushing it away, it gives that thought a meaning. You just said to yourself that I believe this thought is true. Because otherwise, why you need to resist it? If it doesn't matter. If that thought is a positive one. Because every positive feeling, every positive thought that you have, you're not resisting it. Yeah? So I saw that every time I did that pushing away, I gave it a meaning. I literally believed that thought. And therefore, the more I did to the same kind of negative thought, it became true. and it kind of like collapses into my reality. Yeah. So the giving a meaning is same as you are saying to yourself, I believe this. This thought is true. And therefore it becomes your reality. So it's not that thought itself that is creating. If it comes and you let it flow through, nothing happens. It just flows through. You notice it, and it just vanishes. So you don't need to be afraid of the thought itself, because when you look closely, so what you are able to do with this, if you look closely what the thoughts are made of, investigate within you. Don't just believe what I say here. Just investigate within you. Are you able to actually locate that thought? Because it feels like it's in my head, but is it actually? If you look closely, is it actually in your head? And what it is made of? What is the thought? And also, is there even a thinker? Because if you look really close, you started, and this one is the one that I really suggest that you see it, you have the insight within you. Because when you do get this, what I'm about to say, you really laugh. I promise you will laugh when you see this. That actually, when the thought arises, there always is the sense of me or the sense of I simultaneously. The thought appears, and there's also appearing the I. And we take that I or that me, we take that as the true I. This is me. But because you are able to see it within that thought, it can't be the subject. It has to be the object. Because how you are otherwise able to notice it? So the sense of me that arises within that thought, and with that thought that appears, you really notice that it's just another thought. And when you see it, I promise, like I said, I promise you will laugh when you see it, but get the insight yourself and investigate that. And also investigate how you are pushing or pulling, or are you doing that? Or are you kind of like, do you go towards that thought, or are you withdrawing from that thought? Because the thought is only a one appearances within this consciousness. So it needs to have its own flow also. So when you are having those thoughts, you can just let it flow like a through or pass by. You just notice it, and that's it. You don't have to grasp it. But if you give that meaning and you start to believe it, you really are grasping. That's the mechanism how you are grasping that. You make it more real. So, and you don't have to, if you have the negative thoughts, you don't have to, if the fear arises, to see that it's only a thought that creates that fear within you, and just be with it. You don't have to do anything about it, because it's created from that thought. So I suggest that just investigate this, how this thought system is operating within you, and see that if you have unfelt emotions, like a really deep emotions, or there's a trauma or something, it creates a belief also within you, and all your experiences and what been thought, how you need to operate here in the world, in your everyday life. They are all beliefs, and those beliefs are running the show. They generate those thoughts because they are like, I saw it like they are attracting those certain kind of thoughts. But you don't have to fear those thoughts themselves, because they are made of, well, investigate yourself, you see. They are just appearances, you know, within the consciousness. So you don't have to fear them, just let it flow. Notice it, notice those thoughts and let it flow. And don't try to push them away, no matter how negative those thoughts are. Just notice it and look what they are. If something, go towards and see what comes next. Like where this comes from, where this thought arises. Where is it? Go towards it, if something. But don't do that push and pull. Yeah? And let them just be. Don't give it a meaning. Yeah. I love you.